The bone, osseous tissue. We use it to say it as osseous tissue. The bone is highly calcified. Bone is highly calcified. What is the meaning of calcified? Mineralized, particularly with the calcium. Bone is highly calcified, mineralized, solid, hard, and rigid. Bone, the properties, characteristic feature, highly calcified, solid, hard, and rigid connective tissue. It is the major component of the endoskeleton of the most of adult vertebrates, including human beings. You may know that we have 206 bones. Okay, so then it is the main tissue that provides structural framework to the body. Main tissue that provides structural framework to the body. It supports the soft tissues and protects the delicate organs. And limb bones of animals serve the weight-bearing function. Limb bones, that means forelimbs and hind limbs, hands and legs, they serve the weight-bearing function. Bones are also interact with the muscles attached to them to bring out the movement that will end, the tendons, or the connection between the bone with the skeletal muscle. And bones have a hard and non-pliable matrix. Bones have hard, non-pliable matrix, rich in calcium salts, particularly calcium phosphate, and collagen fiber, which give the bone its strength. During aging, the proportion of the inorganic materials like calcium phosphate, calcium and collagen, that calcium phosphate particularly, increases in a bone, making it more brittle, making it more brittle. The bone forms. So bone forms homeostatic reservoir of calcium. That the calcium reservoir we can see. Then magnesium, phosphorus, that etc. Bone is highly vascular. The properties of the bone is homeostatic reservoir of calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and bone is highly vascular. The bone has an outer fibrous connective tissue sheath called periosteum. That inner connective tissue sheath that lines the marrow cavity, that is called endosteum. Periosteum and endosteum both are made up of dense irregular fibrous connective tissue, which we learned earlier, and a non-living extracellular matrix, living cells, and bone marrow. The bone composition of the bone. The bone cells include osteoblast, osteocyte, osteoclast. So osteoblasts, which are said to be the immature bone cells, secrete the organic components like collagen fibers of the matrix and also play an important role in the mineralization of the bone. And they become inactive, we call osteocytes. Osteocytes are enclosed in the fluid-filled lacunae. That I'll show you everything here. Osteoclasts are the phagocytic cell involved in the resorption of bone. They involved in the resorption of bone. Just an introduction here. I'll show you everything here. Osteoblast and osteoclast, that everything. Then let's come with the types of bones based on the method of formation. Based on the method of formation, there are 4 types of bones are there: cartilaginous bone, investing bone, sesmoid bone, visceral bones. Okay, cartilaginous, investing, sesmoid, and visceral bones. So before we go there, we need to know a word called ossification. What is the meaning of ossification? We need to go here. Ossification. What is ossification? If we know ossification, that we can learn the 4 types of bones clearly. Okay. So filling bony material we call ossification. Filling of bony material. What is bony material? Bony material means collagen fiber and the calcium minerals, particularly calcium phosphate actually. Okay, so calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, but major amount is going to be calcium phosphate. So collagen fiber and calcium phosphate can be called as that bony material, filling of bony material. For example, if there is an object here, on this particular object, okay, so if I am filling, that means pouring large amount of chocolate on the cake. You may have seen over in these kind of things in the market. The chocolate fountain will pour chocolate on the cake. Okay, so what do you call it as? There may be no name, but I am giving the name. Chocolatification. That means, so don't search for the dictionary for these kind of words here, which I created here. What is chocolatification? The filling of chocolates around the cake is called chocolatification. So you better understand what is acidification now. Filling of bony material. Okay, in chocolatification, what is the content? Chocolate. Then in acidification, what is the content? Bony material. Who is bony material? That collagen fibers and calcium phosphate. So I hope you understand what I am saying here. Acidification, filling with the bony material. We say that acidification. Okay. Now let's start. There are four types of bones: cartilaginous bones, investing bones, sesmoid bones, and visceral bones. There are four types of bones: cartilage, cartilaginous bones, and investing bones, sesmoid bones, visceral bones. In that, the first one, cartilaginous bones. They are formed by the ossification within the cartilage. They're formed by the ossification within the cartilage. Example, bones of limbs, girdles, and vertebrae. Limbs means hands and legs, you need to understand. Bones of limbs and girdles. Girdles means we have two types of girdles: pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. Will come in future in second year when we go for skeletal system. So what exactly they are saying? Cartilaginous bones means that the cartilaginous bones. Who is our embryonic endoskeleton? During embryonic stages, we used to say our endoskeleton is hyaline cartilage, isn't it? That means when you are in the mother uterus, when you are developing as an embryo or fetus, what is your bone? What is your endoskeleton? Your endoskeleton is cartilage. Okay. So when you are growing, that embryonic development is going on, we need to do ossification. That means the cartilage should be replaced by ossification. So ossification, right? I am using for ossification. So ossification done on underlying cartilage. Your endoskeleton cartilage should disappear and you need to form the bones. Okay, so who is the bony material? Collagen and calcium phosphate. So what I am saying, if ossification done on cartilage, within the cartilage. So just I am trying to show that feature to you. If ossification done on within the cartilage, this is the embryonic cartilage. If ossification done on the cartilage, we say such kind of bones are cartilaginous bones, are replacing bones, are endochondral bones. You remember like REC, that you can understand. The three headings are replacing bone, are endochondral bone, or cartilaginous bones. We can say they are replacing. Who is replacing? Cartilage is replaced by bone. That's why we call them as replacing bone. So ossification done on underlying cartilage. That's why we call them as cartilaginous bone. Endochondral, chondral word indicates the presence of cartilage inside. So endochondral bones. Okay. Then next, investing bones or membranous bones or dermal bones. Okay, so where the ossification done, formed by the ossification in the embryonic mesenchyme. That I don't think so. The mesenchyme is a new word to you, just like mesoderm. So formed by the ossification on embryonic mesenchyme. Okay, embryonic mesenchyme. So during embryonic development, imagine this is the embryo. So embryonic mesenchyme. So that means the mesodermal derivatives. This is the mesoderm. Okay, so this is the mesoderm. Now ossification done on this mesoderm, an embryonic mesoderm. So likewise, filling the bony material. So like this. Okay. So just showing a hypothetical example. We don't have diagrams for these kind of things here. So what do you say this as? That these kind of bones are called as, these kind of bones are called investing bones. These kind of bones are called investing bones, or membranous bones, or dermal bones. Investing or membranous or dermal bones. Okay. So these are the major bones actually. Most bones of the cranium are like this. Most bones of the cranium are like this only. Okay. So let me say once again, these two are crucial here. These two are crucial. So let me say once again. So first of all, we said our embryonic endoskeleton is cartilage. So then when we are growing, embryo is growing, this cartilage need to be replaced by the bone. Bony material need to be filled over. So that we call ossification and underlying cartilage. That's why we call it as replacing bone or endochondral bone or cartilaginous bone. Replacing or endochondral or cartilaginous bone. Okay, so this is the embryo. In the embryo, in endoskeleton. So particularly we are talking about that mesenchyme. If ossification done on embryonic mesenchyme or mesoderm, we call membranous bone or investing bone or dermal bone. Membranous or investing or dermal bone. Bones of cranium are an example for this kind of bone. Okay. Next, sesmoid bone. These are the special kind of bones. Ossification done on tendons. Did you remember tendon? Tendons are the collagen fibers of regular dense connective tissue. Okay, so now what is happening here? Ossification done on the collagen fibers. Okay, like this, sesmoid bones. Okay, so then example, patella, kneecap, it's a special kind of bone it is. Patella, kneecap. That imagine on your knee, you'll find a round plate, isn't it? That is kneecap. That is sesmoid bone, a special kind of bone. On your wrist, even you can see a little protruded bone on your wrist on one side. So what do you call it as a pisiform bone of the wrist of mammal? Everyone will have. Everyone will have. Let me show you. Let me show you. So let me switch on my video and I'll show you. So here it is. So in this place. So here that pisiform bone, we use it to say here, pisiform. So here it is. If you touch, you'll find a special kind of bone there, but you say that as a pisiform bone. Okay. So that is a special kind of bone. And next, the fourth one, visceral bones. Visceral bones are formed by the ossification on the soft tissues. Visceral bones are formed by the ossification in the soft tissues. Special kind, we don't have in case of human being. Ascardis. In ruminants, we'll find the heart is ossified. Their heart is filled with bone, that bony material. That is special. So that in case of ruminants, the heart is ossified like this, like this. Okay, os penis. Inside the glans penis of many mammals, such as rodents, rats, bats, and in some carnivores, we'll find that os penis, ossification done on the male copulatory organ, particularly in the region of glans penis. Glans penis means at the tip of the penis, the bulging, we say glans penis. Then akada, there the bony material is getting filled over, the bony material there. So what do you say? That is os penis. Okay, ascardis inside the heart of ruminants, os penis inside the glans penis of many mammals such as rats, rodents, bats, and carnivores. So this is a kind of classification. So based on the method of formation, we have four types: cartilaginous bone and investing bones, sesmoid bones, visceral bones. We have this kind of classification. Okay. So this is one type of classification on bones. Types of bones based on the method of formation. Okay. So types of bones based on the method of formation. I'm trying to erase this. Okay, next. Types of bones based on the structure. So for that, I have to go particularly a diagram here. We need to draw a bigger diagram. So then after we'll come back here. Okay, so a full diagram of the bone. We need to go with the full diagram of the bone. So imaginary hypothetical diagram which we are trying to do.